So I have an issue with this Pentax 645 where in single shot mode, I can only take one picture and then subsequent pressings of the shutter button do not fire. If I go into continuous mode, I can fire. If I go into single mode, I'll fire once, and then I need to, power cycle the device to fire. So that's definitely not nominal. And if I compare this with a other battery grip, for example, I don't have that issue. I can fire normally in S mode. So it seems like this grip could be having an issue. So I'm gonna take a look and see what could be happening with this battery grip. So I've already checked this out, and compared to a good battery grip that I've already shown you, I noticed that there is a very high resistance between some of these pins, whereas the resistance is almost zero. So this could indicate that there's a weak short circuit within this grip, and that could be causing an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the bottom of this grip and take a look at what the issue could be. So to open up the grip, let's go through that. Now, the grip that I have in place here doesn't have a locking button, but I do have an example of another grip that does. So in order to start removing the battery grip, the first thing you have to do is remove this piece right here. So you might have that lock sticker, and if you do have that, you have to remove that first. I'm not going to show that step, but you can take a pair of tweezers, and typically there's an adhesive that has it down there. And once you remove the sticker, you're going to have a flathead screwdriver. So to remove this flathead screw, what you need to do is turn like you're tightening it. So turn clockwise in order to loosen the screw. It's a left-hand screw. Again, I'm not going to show that, but once you remove that screw, this guy will pop off, and there'll be a spring and a piece, and you can proceed with the rest of the removal. There could be some corrosion inside this battery grip, which is causing that weak short. So in order to assess that, we need to remove these 5 screws. Before we do that, if your grip has the cap which covers the battery terminals for an external battery pack, you just need to unscrew it to remove. Oh, and yeah, you can definitely see that there's some corrosion. So let's go ahead and remove the rest of the screws. Okay, now with that piece removed, we're going to remove this guy here, and oh yeah, definitely we see some corrosion. So on that guy, there's some interesting blue stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to work to restore this guy. So we're going to give it a thorough cleaning. I do recommend that before you start, you do take a picture of your unit so you know how to put it back together, but this will hopefully get you started. Okay, the first piece that I'm going to remove here is going to be the cap for the battery release. So this just comes off if it hasn't already. It's just a friction fit or a weak friction fit. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the mechanism that locks the battery grip in place. So there's just 2 screws that holds this piece down. And removing this piece is very useful if you have a stuck battery holder. You can remove that piece. Okay, now that I've got that piece removed, I'm going to remove this black piece here. So to start that, I've just got to remove this little plastic O-ring. And then I've got 3 screws to remove this plastic housing that covers the external battery terminals. Definitely don't, if this is battery corrosion, you definitely don't want to touch that. Okay, so this doesn't remove the black piece because this black piece is heat staked to this PCB, but it does allow to get access to the PCB in general. So it is going to require some soldering in order to remove the battery terminals, and I'm just going to use this guy here to kind of help me keep it up. while I desolder. In order to get underneath this PCB, you do need to remove all the terminals. I definitely do recommend that, again, you do take a picture of this, but overall, this is relatively simple to remove. Okay. And you can just remove like any other piece, any other wire. Okay, it took a while, but I finally got the PCB removed. So once you have the internal PCB removed, you can go ahead and move on to the other PCB. This piece right here is just removed from these 3 screws. And once you have those 3 screws removed, this PCB just pops up. And then these wires are just taped down, so you can just gently remove the wires and they'll just come off that tape. So yeah, lots of corrosion, something that's completely salvageable. Now let's turn our attention to the internal battery terminals. So inside here you have your spring and your positive and negative terminals. Well, all 3 of these are removable by removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Definitely have a lot of corrosion. Oh yeah, nice and crusty. So we're gonna drop that into some vinegar later on. Okay. So in order to remove this guy, just need to push from the inside, and then you can pull up very gently. We want to be careful that we don't damage any of these wires if you're not interested in disassembling the unit more. That is the last step of the complete disassembly of the Pentax 645 battery grip from the bottom. And we're going to get this all cleaned up. The other thing to note on these PCBs is that these plastic pieces are heat staked. So if you look at this guy over here in the middle, there's a little black ring towards the center of the picture. That needs to be cut off in order to remove the plastic piece. On this PCB, there is a black heat stake part right here that would also need to be cut off to remove that. Once that's cut off, you can then remove this plastic piece to get access to there. It's the next day, and I've spent some time to remove the old solder, clean up the pads, add new solder, and redo all the connections. So not the cleanest work, but it'll do. And now we're gonna double check that now that this is assembled, if it's going to function. So grabbing the test body, let's go ahead and add the battery pack. And the issue that we had was that in S mode, we would only be able to fire once without had to do a power cycle in order to fire a second time. So in S mode, we can now fire simultaneously. And if we go back and we check to see if we have any weak shorts, all that seems to be in order. And the voltage across the positive and negative terminals should be 9 volts. There we go, 9 volts. So 9.32 volts, and off the battery pack, we are getting 0.32 volts. So I mean, at 0 load current, we're getting no perceivable voltage drop, which is a good sign. Okay, hope that helps get you on your way. Thank you for watching.